In this video, here's what we'll cover: the weight of starting over, grief, loss, and a split identity, why asking for help feels hard, trauma, refugees, and what can help, finding culturally aware support, leaving behind everything you know, your family, your language, your sense of who you are, and building a new life in a new country, is one of the most demanding things a person can ever do. For many migrants and refugees here in Australia, the first years bring hope and the energy of a fresh start, but they also bring a quiet weight that is rarely talked about out loud. If you have felt that weight, I want you to hear something clearly. What you are carrying has a name, it is common, and you do not have to carry it alone. In my practice, here in Western Sydney, I sit with people from South Asia, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, Africa, and beyond. So often they tell me the same thing as they leave: I wish I had come sooner. Let me start with the weight of starting over. Settling into a new culture is rarely as simple as it sounds. There is the strain of learning a new language while getting through an ordinary day. There are unspoken social rules you are expected to just know. Family roles shift. Sometimes children adapt faster than their parents, and that changes everything at home. On top of that sit experiences of being othered or overlooked. We call this acculturation stress, the pressure of living across two cultural worlds at once, each with its own values and expectations. Then there is grief, and a split sense of identity. Migration involves real loss, even when the move was chosen and hoped for. You may grieve the closeness of aging parents who are far away. You may grieve a profession you trained years for, only to find your qualifications are not recognized here. Working in a role well below the one you held at home can quietly wear down your sense of worth. And for many people from close, family-centered cultures, there is a deep tension between the values you grew up with and the life around you now. Young people can feel torn between their parents and the world they are part of. That inner pull can fuel anxiety, low mood, and shame. Now, why does asking for help feel so hard? The numbers point to something troubling. Research suggests migrants often experience higher rates of depression and anxiety than people born here, especially after the first few years of settling, and yet they are far less likely to reach out for support. There are real reasons for that. In many cultures, mental health struggles carry heavy stigma, and asking for help can feel like weakness, or like shaming your family. Distress is sometimes felt in the body, as headaches, fatigue, or aches, so people seek a doctor rather than a psychologist. For those who fled harsh governments, any official service can feel unsafe, and practical barriers are real too: cost, transport, and simply not knowing what help exists. Add to that the pride of just getting on with it, and reaching out can feel like a betrayal of who you are. I want to speak plainly about trauma and refugees, and what can help. Not everyone arrives the same way. For refugees, the journey here may have held war, persecution, or dangerous crossings. Those experiences can leave PTSD, complex trauma, depression, and lasting anxiety, and that pain does not simply vanish on landing in a safe place. Ongoing worry about visas and legal status only adds to the load. The hopeful part is that these struggles can respond to care. Culturally informed therapy is not just translation. It means understanding that your culture shapes how distress is felt, what you believe about help, and what a good outcome even looks like for you. Approaches like cognitive behavior therapy and acceptance and commitment therapy can be gently adapted to fit your values in daily life, rather than asking you to give up your identity. For trauma, evidence-based, trauma-focused approaches can also help the mind settle what it has held for too long. None of this is a magic cure, but it can make a genuine, lasting difference. Finally, let me talk about finding culturally aware support here in Australia. Look for someone who asks about your background, your family, your faith, and your migration story, and who follows your lead rather than assuming Western ideas fit everyone. Being able to speak in your mother tongue, or to switch languages mid-sentence, can be a real relief, because some things are almost impossible to say in a second language. Care is most helpful when it comes early, before the weight grows too heavy, not only in a crisis. There are practical first steps, too. A visit to a general practitioner can open the door to a mental health treatment plan, which brings Medicare rebates toward seeing a psychologist. Professional interpreters can join sessions at no cost to you, so language never has to be the barrier that keeps you silent, and community and settlement services can walk beside you while you find your footing. You are allowed to accept help while still being strong. If you are a migrant or refugee and you have been struggling, whether with depression, anxiety, PTSD, grief, or the sheer effort of starting again, please know that help is here, and it can be respectful, confidential, and culturally informed. At Potentialz Unlimited in Vista, we serve this beautifully diverse community, with support in more than one language. You can read the full guide, or book an appointment, using the links in the description below. You do not have to struggle alone. Before you go, here's a quick recap of what we covered. The weight of starting over, grief, loss, and a split identity. Why asking for help feels hard. Trauma, refugees, and what can help. Finding culturally aware support. And one small thing that really helps more people find this. Subscribe for weekly mental health explainers. Like this video if you found it helpful. Share it with someone who might need it.